it takes me like 100 tries to get it to
Dude, that's
connect
so
properly.
weird because like my phone recently since the new iPhone came out has been all jacked up. Battery life terrible. It won't
Yeah.
charge as well as it used to. But anyway, we are live. It's the Roughneck to Real Estate podcast, y'all. Hope you're feeling good. Here's our theme song. Boom, boom,
Pets.
boom. I'll pull it in for the podcast version on iTunes. Our boys got a light battery life because the new iPhone came out. So now they're discharging all our phones, trying to get us to turn them in and buy new ones. It's a big conspiracy. We're live on Roughneck to Real Estate. We got Spencer McDuffy, and we got our fearless leader, Corey Thompson. What's up, guys?
What's going on?
Just doing
Spencer,
it.
introduce yourself. Introduce yourself to the good people of R2R.
Okay, what's up, everybody at R2R? My name is Spencer McDuffy. I'm a real estate agent out of Grayson County, and I'm also a fix and flipper rehabber up here in the Grayson County area as well.
So when did you get into real estate? How long you been doing this?
I've been in real estate for only about 8 months at this point, so I'm still kind of a new guy.
Awesome. Well, you're a lot further ahead than most people in 8 months because I went and creeped your profile. You've been doing some flips. You've been doing some remodels. Most people 8 months in are still reading books and online manuals. How'd you get started taking action? How did you take the plunge?
I did everything wrong, man. Everything that you could possibly do wrong is exactly what I did, and still managed to make a little bit of money, gain a whole lot of knowledge, and refine my skill set as I get more deals. It's definitely better than my first one, but basically started off, I was looking for a multifamily in Tampa, Florida. Never actually could find the property that I was looking for, and eventually just said, you know what, screw it. I'm going to just go ahead and buy me a single family, and we're just going to flip it. So all the research that I had done, all the book reading that you're talking about was on multifamily. I didn't know anything about flips, but just bought something and just rehabbed it. Just bought something that needed work.
Did you buy it off MLS or did you buy it off market?
I bought it off MLS. Yeah, full list price.
No lie.
Straight up, man. Terrible. I mean, not a terrible first decision. We made money and everything, but did everything wrong. Like I said, bought it for too expensive, spent too much money on the rehab, had no plan of action, had no source of funds whenever we closed on the house to do the renovation. I mean, it was a mess.
Dude, I love it. Like I love that story. I love the beginning of that story because that starts in action. I mean, you read the books, you did all that, but the very first thing you did was take action. Where'd you get the money from? Was it a private money loan? Did you have the money saved up?
My down payment, I used FHA, so I had to put like 10 grand down. And then to finance it, I actually used personal loans. I used 2 personal loans and a credit card.
Dude.
So again, not my, something that I'm particularly proud about in my decision making, but we got it done,
No, if you got it across the finish line and you made money, even if you broke even if you lost 10 grand on that deal, you're still better off than the person that paid a guru 10 grand because you learned through experience. You know what you're doing. You know what I mean? People oftentimes, whenever they get started in real estate, they forget that you're going to go dump 40 grand or 10 grand into a guru, and then you're going to go make this exact same mistake that you just made. It never fails. It doesn't matter how much you pay somebody to watch your back. They're not going to come out there and hold your hand. They're not going to go to visit the property with you. They're not going to do any of that stuff. They're going to sit back on the phone and say, well, I would do this or I would do that. And then you're going to be cut loose and you're going to have to go live by your own mistakes anyways. So what break down the numbers on the deal, because what I always worry about on MLS is if I buy it for like 40,000 and then 3 months later I'm trying to sell it for 60,000 or 100,000 or 120,000, that my previous comp is, the closest previous comp is the actual house that I bought off MLS. You know what I mean? Yeah. How did that affect you whenever you went to sell it?
Well, number wise, we got the property. We put in the offer at 180. Now, keep in mind, this was in Tampa, Florida. We put in the offer at 180, which was the full list price, which was not a smart decision, obviously, now. But we got it. They accepted the offer at 180, and that appraisal actually didn't end up making. So they actually dropped the purchase price for us 30 grand. We ended up getting it for 150. But still, we bought it for the appraised value, which is not a smart thing to do as a flipper. We put $36,000 into it from the personal loans and the credit cards. So I guess that takes us to 186, just about somewhere in there. And we ended up selling it for 232,000, and we made appraisal.
Awesome. So what was your total profit on it? Were you the real estate agent? Because you're an agent too, right?
At the time I wasn't an agent. I'm only licensed in Texas. I've only had my license for about 60 days. So I actually hired a real estate agent, paid the $18,000 in commission. That took all my profit. That was another one of my mistakes, is I did not even factor in real estate commissions. I made so many mistakes on this.
Dude, I love it. No, dude, yeah. Look, I promise you now, whenever you look at a deal online, like as soon as you see the numbers pop up with these fly-by-night wholesalers that throw some shit up, or the big box wholesalers throw some stuff up at you, you're going to look at that and say, oh shit, that's the real estate agent's going to make some money, but I ain't going to make shit on that. So that's, dude, I love it. Like, I love it. Like my first week in real estate, we bought 3 houses. Well, contracted 3 houses. So it was the exact same story. I had no idea how to flip a house, no idea how to do anything. Bought a $12,000 house in my hometown, got on auction.com, ended up buying another one for $27,000. And then got in Craigslist and found another one for like $47,000. So very first week we'd never flipped a house or done anything, and we were in the exact same situation you were in. Like, hey, we did it, and then we ended up owner financing one, selling the other 2 retail. One of them sold real quick. The other one we had to hold on to for like 9 months. But that's where we learned about holding costs. That's where we learned about going broke. That's where we learned about starving to death and not overextending ourselves. And then we also learned how to rehab houses, because luckily we got a good contractor, because in a situation like yours or mine, if you get one of these contractors that we've been roasting on the page, you're toast. You know what I mean? Like that's Absolutely. The big thing about it. So what are you doing moving forward? Like, are you going to dive into wholesaling, or are you going to, work the agent side of things? What's your plan moving forward? Where do you want to go from here?
My plan moving forward is to just continue flipping. So I did that first flip. We closed that sale back in like June or so. So it's November. So that was like 5 months ago. And since then, I've got 3 renovations going right now. So scaled up pretty damn fast. I got 3 going at once. I own 2, and I'm doing 1 for a client who I'm actually getting ready to list their house. Okay. So 2 I'm flipping for myself. 1 I'm flipping for somebody else, and I'm going to list and make the 6% commission.
Awesome. Where'd you get the money to do the next 2? Did you hook up with a private money lender? Where'd you find that person? How'd you get from FHA loan and credit cards to doing 2 more right off the bat?
Man, I discovered the power of the joint venture. That's awesome. every deal that I've done since then has been joint venture. Because I'm a new agent, I'm 1099 now. I'm no longer a W-2 salary employee. I was an accountant before, by the way, so I gave that up. And so now I really can't qualify for much of a loan on my own. Even hard money is hard for me to get. So I just partner with my mom. I partner with my business partner, Charles, and we just get it done. And I got some, what do they call them, bird dogs around town, things like that. And we just find ways to get the money.
Dude, I'm so happy you're on this podcast this morning. So happy, because most people are sitting back right now. They're watching you. And they're saying, "Oh, I can't do that." You know what I mean? Like, I can't do that. Their mindset's in their way, because people always ask me, like, well, where'd you get the money? Well, at first I had money, but then whenever that was gone, you know what I mean? Like, I ate that food. Like the thing that whenever you're in real estate and you go full time like this, like by the time you make that profit on a flip, you owe a bunch of money in credit cards because you've been buying groceries, you've been paying for car insurance, you've been doing all that the whole time. But now you get that big chunk in. Well, hell, it's already gone into living expenses, and that was the thing that people didn't realize was, well, you just made a bunch of money, but bro, I spent in the 3 months holding time on this, I spent a bunch of money just living, paying mortgages and stuff like that. So I had to downsize my whole life to be able to keep moving forward. I ended up living in an RV for 2 years. So people will look at it and it's like, Jawad, we made a status a long time ago. Hey, would you move into a trailer house to become a millionaire? If I was going to give you $1 million right now, would you move to a trailer house? And everybody said, yeah. And I'm like, well, this is a sacrifice it takes. If you move into a trailer house right now and buckle down and work, in 2 years, you can be a millionaire. And they're like, oh no, that's not possible. I'm like, I'm living proof. Like, it's all in what you want to do. So how long before you wrap these projects up and get them on and get them listed?
Well, before I tell you that, man, I feel that trailer park thing, man, because that first deal, it was straight up grind. We had, no furniture in that house. I was living in this house. We did the living flip. So we had no kitchen for like 2.5 months. We had no running water for like 4 days straight. We had no bathroom for like a month. We were showering at the gym in the morning and, going number 2 at work before we came home and things like that. No kitchen, just eating fast food, just living a terrible lifestyle, sleeping on a cot on the hard new tile that looked good but felt terrible. So I totally get it, man. I'm down with, making that commitment. You gotta do what you gotta do, because it's not easy when you're first starting out. You gotta hustle and sacrifice, like you said.
Dude, that's amazing. Like that is it. Like, everybody is stuck in how or why or whatever. It's like, look, man, if you'll downsize your life, if you'll just take a look at your bills right now. I was telling somebody about the Driving for Dollars app the other day. I'm like, it's $20 a month. You can't find $20 a month in your budget. Like, you're drinking more coffee than that in a month, even if you're not even going to Starbucks. If you're going to the fucking corner store, you're spending more than $20 a month on Starbucks. You know what I mean? You got $20 in candy bars that last month. You're just not looking at it from the right angle. You've got $20 a month. Some people that don't, you know what I mean? Then you just need to get you one bandit sign and hang out with it next to the fucking stop sign and hope your phone rings. Like,
go spend times.
That's it. Like, so you're in these flips now. You're doing your thing. I mean, this is just me. I don't flip houses no more, but that's because I got tired of dealing with contractors. Now, are you doing a lot of these rehabs yourself? Are you there every day? Are you checking in on it? You got the JV thing going. You got a money partner on it. Like, I love that. We built an entire rental portfolio that's almost 300 units now using that model. Like, the same partners that were partnering with us at the beginning are now our partners in our big mobile home company that we've got. So, I totally feel that. Like, everybody that does understand the power of partnerships, they're not thinking big. So where are you at in the process right now? Are you there every day? Do you have good contractors, good subs? Like, what's that look like?
I do, man. I have one go-to guy. His name is Chris Dix. He's awesome. He's my go-to guy. He can do, he's a jack of all trades type of a guy. Affordable work, and I can always count on him. If I have an issue, I just call him up, and he'll drop what he's doing, and he'll come help me out if I need him to. I try not to make him do that, but apart from him, he's kind of my general guy. But yeah, I have a long list of subs, and again, it's part of the reason that I decided to come to Grayson County is because my family's from here, and I have resources here. My business partner has been operating here for 5 years, so when I left Tampa, I wanted to come where he was so that I already had access to all the contractors, and I already have the name and the reputation because I'm associated with him. So I have a list of like 150 contractors that I didn't have to take the time to build the relationships with. And when I say, oh, I'm this person's partner, automatic clout. They're not giving me the 10K bids, they're giving me the 3K bids because they know that they're assuming that I'm, with this guy and I'm legit. You know what I mean?
We've got a Grayson County contractor that's got some notoriety. It's probably need to stay away from. We won't mention his name on here because we don't want to give him no shot. But you can check out Pat Hilton's.
I was hopping in for that.
I think I saw it.
Pat Hilton, where could they find the video if you want to see contractors to avoid?
You guys can log on to Roughneck to Real Estate and just type in roast song. And there are 2 contractors that have been roasted on our page. You can find them at Roughneck to Real Estate.
I love it. I'm gonna check that out today.
So how long till you get these things listed? When do you want to? How long before you get them to market? What's your turnaround time? Because time is money. So you've got to. You learned your lessons on the first one. How are you applying that knowledge moving forward?
Well, I got one. I mean, the easiest way to do it is to buy a house that is in better condition. So I got one that's in solid condition. I mean, this is just like a straight up cosmetic rehab. I'm expecting that we'll be done with it before the end of the month. We just closed on it like a week ago. So I'm thinking, 3 weeks total will be all we really need. Maybe a little bit longer to buffer in all of that unknown stuff with the contractors and stuff like that. And with it being snowy here and cold. But that one should be less than a month and it'll be listed. I'm going to list it myself, not paying any commission, save that money there. My other flip that I have going right now has been brutal. It was my first big gut job. So there was a lot of stuff in there. I went from, my first rehab to my second one, which was a massive gut job. There was a lot of unforeseen things in there, and it's been dragging ass a little bit longer than I would like it to. But we're back on track now, and we're looking to get that one listed in maybe about a month. We should be all done. We're getting the exterior siding put in right now. We just got the windows put in right now. Got to still do all the interior work though. So
on those 2, did you get them on market or off market?
Off market. I haven't bought anything on market since my first deal.
Did you get them from a wholesaler, or did you do the marketing yourself?
I did buy one from a wholesaler. The one that needed a whole lot of work, I bought from a wholesaler. And then the other one I bought kind of like through my sphere of influence. Somebody knew somebody who wanted to sell a house, and I followed up with them. All they wanted to do was just walk away. So I was able to just cover their mortgage payment and take the house from them.
So did you take that one sub too, or did you?
Not technically. No, I closed on it, but
okay.
I just paid them what their mortgage was.
Dude, that's awesome. Dude, I love this. I love your story so far. And believe me, like, you're just getting started, but you're heading in the right direction. You're taking action. You've got deals going. I can tell you from our first big gut jobs, they fucking suck. It wasn't too long after I started these big gut jobs that I realized, HGTV ain't following my ass around. There's no cameras in the background. There's no safety net here. So we lost 20,000 on our like real big gut job. I mean, we had contractors still 10 grand. I mean, just you name it, everything went wrong. It was immaculate when we were done. I used to go over there and take showers because I was like, fuck it. This shower's so nice. It was like a $12,000 shower. I designed it and everything. It had butthole sprayers, all kinds of cool shit. I was over there showering in it all the time. But that was the only good thing that happened from that house because all I did was pay for a $20,000 education on it. The other one is actually still in our rental portfolio. It was a burnout. Random deal where we had it listed. It went under contract 2 different times. And then I called a for sale by owner. I was just riding around, called a for sale by owner. And the guy's like, hey, yeah, I want X number of dollars for this property. End up being an investor. And so I started telling him about something I had under contract that I was thinking about wholesaling. I'm like, hey, would you pay me 20 grand for this? And he's like, where's it at? And I told him, and he's like, dude, that'll rent for $800 a month. I'll buy it from you right now. And I'm like, whoa, hold on now. Yeah. That is junk. We got an immaculate remodel in the same neighborhood, so I'd tell him about it. And he goes, yeah, you'll rent that for $1,000 a month. So I was like, well, hell, I don't have but $45,000 in that one. I'm just going to rent it for $1,000 a month and put a bank loan on it. You know what I mean? And let the low end drag. So we did that. And that's whenever we became landlords and kind of shift the mindset and, went into the rental portfolio because we realized it was way easier. Whenever we went to borrow money against that property, they ended up loaning us like $52,000 against it. So we had 45 in it. We picked up 7. That's probably all we would have made had we sold it on the market anyways. And now it's been paying us $300 a month ever since. You know what I mean? So it's like that was a mindset shift for me going down my journey and how I ended up with it. But what you got is you got to have that credit partner. You got to have that person with that W-2 income because you just nailed it. When you hadn't been in business for 2 years and you're getting started out, it's hard to get loans. It's the reason why I jumped off our LLC at the beginning. I was like, dude, just take me off the LLC. We can't get loans because.
Well, man, to me, it's a better deal, man. I mean, honestly, not being able to not get loans is a huge blessing because I mean, both deals that I'm in, or at least one deal that I'm in right now, I'm a 50% partner and had to put no money in. I mean, what's better than that?
Dude, that's I don't know if I should say this out loud, but I mean, that's my whole business model. Like, if I can use other people's money, that's it. Corey Thompson ran out of money a long time ago. So from then he's been using other people's money. You know what I mean? One house I had to borrow $1,100 from the person that's like my mom just to close on it. That's how all in I was into real estate. Like, I literally had $0 in the bank at that point in time, and I was like, shit, I better go sell this house because if not. And so we bought that house for 10, turned around and sold it for 15. We got our money back in like a week, but for a week I had $0 in the bank, 0. Yeah. And then I only had 5 whenever I got that back. Actually, I had less because I had to give the 1,100 back. So it was like, there it was, you know what I mean? It was like, dang, but that's what it takes, and at that point, that was what made me realize I don't want this mortgage anymore. Like this $2,000 a month mortgage is killing me. And so I moved into a rent house. And then after I got tired of rent, I was like, here's this RV, and I moved into an RV park we owned. And, the story's kind of been told. Pat wants me to sit down and tell my story sometime. I just hinted at a bunch of it. So what with you, like, what's next? Like, where are you going? You still looking at apartment complexes? I mean, you've read all the books, you've seen all the numbers. You looking to get more into it?
Yeah, absolutely, man. I'm full time in this. I quit my job and racked up $110,000 in student debt for no reason at this point. So yeah, I'm 100% committed to real estate. I was hoping to get this property that we're flipping right now. I was hoping to turn that into a rental to kind of start building that rental portfolio up. I don't know if it's going to work out or not. Kind of to your point earlier, I'm just taking the action. We have the equity there. So if we can do the cash out refi, then my partner will do that. But she doesn't want to do a straight up rental. She just wants to pull her money out. So we either got to sell or cash out refi. And I've been told at this point we won't be able to do a cash out refi. So just kind of playing it by ear. But yes, I mean, my ultimate plan is flip, build capital, wholesale, build capital. I am dabbling a little bit in wholesale. I haven't closed anything like that yet. I got one under contract recently for $3,000, but it has liens and stuff on it, and it's been a real pain trying to get the liens wiped away. So yeah, man.
Hold on, it's a $3,000 house.
Yes.
Is it livable?
Yeah.
Dude, buy it for $3,000. Don't worry about clearing the liens. Buy it for $3,000. Put a renter in there and grow your money.
Yeah, I'm still trying to figure out that.
Dude, I'm telling you right now, I'm not a slumlord, but if you can provide somebody with $450 a month rent, okay, you're growing your money and you're providing a service to somebody. People do need $450 a month rent. People will look at slumlords and say, oh, they're slumlords. No, they're providing somebody a house that would otherwise be living under a bridge. So that, I'm all about that. If you can get that money back in a few months, buy it. Don't worry about, you can clear the liens, cure all the defects on the title, and you can already have ownership of it. Worst case scenario, you lose $3,000. I've lost more than that at a strip club or at the casino. Like, I mean, there's worse ways to spend your $3,000. You know what I mean? I would park it there, put a tenant in it, learn about being a landlord with that, and figure, because the numbers get a little shaky on being a landlord. I can tell you right now, the path you're on, try to stack back $100,000 before you jump into that buy and hold, because I mean, just this week I can give you an example. We're replacing an AC unit that's going to probably cost us $4,000 or so. It's bitter cold. The heater won't work. It's just one of those things. Hey, you just got to eat that cost. We had a roof that got damaged. We had to put them in a hotel while we waited for the insurance. Insurance don't really pay that well. Like everybody thinks that they're going to come out and pay for a full replacement on the roof. They didn't. And the house right next door to it, the insurance, we don't even know if they're going to pay us anything, even though it's the same storm that damaged both mobile homes. So we've got two tenants living in that we're living in hotels, and we're having to pay that, and we're having to pay for the $10,000-$12,000 in repairs to their home. So there's a lot that goes into it, and there's no quicker way to get really, really strapped out than to get 3 or 4 rentals, feel real good about your cash flow, and then realize that you're one roof, one AC away from bankruptcy. So that's my free advice. Anybody that's listening to that. So what are you doing for marketing right now? Have you dived into marketing? You wanting to get into wholesaling?
I haven't been focusing much on marketing for wholesaling. I've been focusing on prospecting as a real estate agent. So in the mornings, I'm doing old school, picking up the phone. I'm calling expireds. I'm calling FSBOs, and I come across deals that way because, a lot of those for sale by owners, they might be raggedy properties, or, my expires, they might be raggedy properties. And I'm working with some guys out here who are kind of like bird dogs. They're new, they haven't done their first deal, but they're very motivated and, wanting to hustle. So I'll shout out to Darius Curry. I mean, he's been setting appointments for me left and right. And so that's really what we're doing. I mean, we're just straight up grassroots right now. I don't have any money for marketing.
Are you making offers on all these houses?
Yes.
So if you walk into a house that they want 60 for, it's a $70,000 house, where's your offer?
I do the regular kind of Maxwell structure. The 70% less repairs, less fee is kind of the way that I roll with it. And then the benefit of being a real estate agent is if they won't take the offer, then I'll say, well, let's list it on the MLS and we'll see if we can get it. And I actually just took a deal pending where the guy wanted 55. I was at about 20K as a purchase price. He wanted 55. I said, absolutely not. But we listed it and, we're pending now at 50K. So worked out for everybody.
I'm going to give you the ultimate free advice. This is, I mean, I don't know about Grayson County, but I do know I've worked all over the state and this kind of works. Okay. Offer a really shitty offer. Like make these shitty, like on that house, I'd offer 15,000 cash. And I would beat their house down and be like, look, bro, I'm going to have to put this in, I'm going to have to put this in, I'm going to have to put this in it. And then after they're like, to hell with you, get off my lawn. Okay. Or I can pay you 120 equal payments of whatever it is at your sales price. Okay. Yeah. So no money down, your owner financing it from them, like see if they'll take it. Now, if it's got a mortgage on it, there's another deal, but here's the thing about it. If you make that real shitty offer and then you come back and they don't take it, or maybe they counter, you know what I mean? So you offer, that's a $60,000, you offer 15 and they come back at 25, you just probably bought a house. You know what I mean? And then on the flip side of that is if they take your owner finance offer, you get control of the property and you can either sell it, wrap it, do whatever. But if you're doing those two offers, the first offer sucks. It makes the second offer look better, but it's not that much better of an offer. And I make those offers like my anymore. I don't need to reach on a property. You know what I mean? So it's like I'm either offering, something that's way off the walls, like 20-30% of what it's worth, or I'm definitely not overpaying for a property these days. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, absolutely. Absolutely.
So, in Grayson County is not that fast of a deal. Now, the other thing we do whenever we buy that property, so let's say we do get that offer accepted at 25, we don't rehab it at all. We clean it up and list it on MLS because there's more investors on MLS. I have this argument all the time. People want a hotel or a wholesale. Dude, I don't even mess with it. I don't try to sign a contract. I just buy it and then close it on an MLS. We're today a deal is funding that we bought for 25. We put it on MLS for 65. It sold for 40,000 cash. So we're making a quick 11 grand. Didn't have to do anything, nothing to the property at all. I've never even seen that property. I've never even laid eyes on it.
Killing it, man.
And that's in a town that's, but that's using owner finance as a backstop. And I'll talk about that a lot on other deals. But so go into some of the other things that are in your future. Go into some of your goals and what you want to knock out doing this.
Well, man, the other day I was talking to my business partner, and he had one of his good friends who kind of laid it all out for him for the first time ever. He's a big investor here in Grayson County. The guy is just killing it, and that really opened my eyes. I mean, he got $3 million net worth. I'm not going to say his name because I'm saying his numbers, but he's got a $3 million. No, not Johnny Moore, no.
Okay.
He's got $3 million net worth. He's got like 80 properties. He's got $50,000 a month in cash flow. I mean, you just can't really do much better. I mean, obviously you can, but from what I've seen and people that I personally know, this dude's
he needs a theme song from the Acoustic Force is what he needs.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah,
shameless
absolutely.
plug. Shameless
absolutely. So I'm trying to build up the rental, man. Rentals are where I want to be. I want to build up a rental portfolio. I'd love to get into large multifamily, 10X. And for me, it's all about cash flow and just meeting that cash flow number to where I don't have to work anymore if I don't feel like it, and just doing what I want to do. So that's what it all comes down to for me, is just building up that rental portfolio and getting that cash flow. Because I could live without flipping. I mean, I love flipping, but it would be nice if, I didn't have to.
You got to use flipping and wholesaling to get that capital, to get that seed money to inject into the multifamily, and then have cash reserves. That's the thing that I don't see any of these gurus talking about. I don't see any of them talking about cash reserves and how important it is to run in a big portfolio. It's so vital because winter blows in right now and you got 20 AC or 20 heaters that don't come on. You know what I mean? It's like that money is going out that month, and you've got to have it. You cannot be thin on cash whenever you're running these deals. So I'm going to talk about this deal that we just did because I think it can inspire you. We just bought 32 units for $250,000. Okay, nice. In a town with 4,000 people in it. The city's probably going to give us a liquid injection of probably around $200,000. On the rehab, we've got roughly a $300,000 to $400,000 rehab budget. But yesterday I'm there and they're like, we need to replace every AC here, and I'm like, well, I wasn't planning on that. There's $120,000. So it's kind of one of those things where you look at it and you're like, all right, well, maybe the rehab budget's going to end up being $500,000, but at that point we're in it for $750,000, and then our gross rents will be right at $19,000. Still investing our ass off is the way I word it, because it's greater than 2% deal. It's picking up 32 doors, but it's being fearless to go into a town with 4,000 people. None of the gurus will tell you to do that. They'll say, you only want to invest next to Starbucks or Whole Foods. Well, you're going to pay through the ass on that. And that debt service doesn't work. That the access to the debt that you have, which is going to be community banks, which is going to be 6%, 6.5% money, 20-year AM money. You can't get in next to Starbucks because that shit's selling at a 6 cap, and the debt service coverage ratio doesn't work. All the numbers get thrown off. You have to bring more capital, and then you've got your 6 cap investor. I'd rather be a 20 cap investor in a town in the middle of nowhere and figure out how to build a management system around that than I had overpay for something that at the end of the day it's still just real estate. It's still the exact same thing. It's still tenants, toilets, headaches, all the same stuff. So,
absolutely. And I've seen the same thing, man, because I lived in Dallas for a while. And, just the difference between Dallas and Grayson, or even Tampa, Florida and Grayson, is just ridiculous. I mean, it is a real renter's market here. People are always saying, you know, can't find 2% deals. Dude, you can find them in Denison, Texas. You can find better than 2% deals. So I can't imagine how these guys are even investing in Grayson County at this point in my career. I mean, in Dallas, sorry. I couldn't even fathom doing that right now. I'm seeing like half of 1%, you know, half of a percent or whatever. And right. People are saying those are good rental properties. I'm saying, hell no, man, it's $375,000 and you're getting $1,500 a month for it, or $1,800 a month. I wouldn't do that, man.
No, I wouldn't do it either. It's like when I look at those numbers, I'm the same way. But then, you know, you'll talk to a guy and they'll be like, well, it'll appreciate $100,000 in a year. Well, sell it, create a taxable event, and get out of it, because you can't even fucking make the payment for what you're buying it for if you're having to buy it with debt. I mean, there's all different kinds of investors. I'm not an appreciation investor. I call that speculating. I'm not a speculator. Like I like that middle to bottom rent. You know, I don't like bottom rent. I like buying bottom rent and then raising it up to, you know, $600, $700, $800 a month, buying it at $350 to $500, and then raising it to $600, $700, $800, and get a better class of tenant in. But, you know, exact same property, no rehab or anything like that, just raising rent because the demand is there. And then, you know, getting a lot of equity by forcing appreciation through raising rents, which is what you do in multifamily, whether it's mobile home parks or, you know, small apartment complexes in towns that people have never heard of. That's the direction we're moving, because we essentially built a property management company. That's how we started out as flippers, just like you. And now we've built a property management company. And we have employees that are all sitting down the way here. And they're helping us out and running this stuff. And it's been a really good blessing. So, how can we help you? Like, how can we help you and get your word out, or get more deals, or get more money? Where do you feel like you're falling short?
Absolutely, man. Hey, and by the way, man, like I said, my phone is getting real close to dying. I'm on 1%. Even though it's charging right now, it's like going down in battery power. So I'm gonna have to wrap up here pretty soon. But if the best way to help me is, you know, show me your deals, you know, be offered to joint venture with me, because that would be awesome if we could joint venture on something together. And man, follow me on you know, Facebook and Instagram. That's how you can help me. That's super easy. Go to my Facebook page, be friends with me, follow me on Instagram, because that helps me a lot. Actually, I get a lot of recognition and deals from people seeing what I'm doing on social media.
Awesome. Pat, do we got any questions?
No questions, man. Everybody's just enjoying the show.
That's it.
I think Pat was drinking whiskey right then.
Yeah,
it looked like whiskey.
He just took a big ass swig of Crown or something. What was that, Pat? What were you drinking?
It's actually a product called HydroCharge. It's an all natural electrolyte supplement.
There you go, man. I like that 10X stat.
I'm straight.
We don't get any money for
California.
That, do we,
straight vegan California shit going on. Yeah, dude. Grant Cardone's the man. I played it at his 10X2 conference.
Yeah.
At Mandalay Bay. It was hip. It was hip.
When I saw him at the World Series, man, I was tripping. I didn't even realize he was going to be there, but I saw him sitting behind home plate with that same hat on.
Shameless at promoting. I love it. I love it all.
Oh, yeah.
And his wife just roots him on. She just roots him on the whole time. You know what I mean? She's great.
Dude,
too.
I just watched a great clip right before I got on here. I shared it, like with her talking about Grant Cardone being beast mode and coming home and wanting to eat everything. She's badass. Like, everybody
awesome.
Needs a woman like that in their life. So
she's definitely cool.
All right, well, y'all look up Spencer on social media. Spencer, I look forward to our future interactions. I know we're going to talk more after this. I'm gonna give you some stuff with some marketing and stuff like that. It's all here in the Roughneck Real Estate group. If you're not in the group on Facebook, we talk about marketing all the time. Been really busy here lately. Just got back from an elk hunt, so you know, but we're gonna be scaling up our marketing a little bit, and I think that'll help you. And I think, you know, for your bird dogs and everything. There's a lot of people that want to charge for this information, but just like you know, a lot of our deals come through our network. So if I can teach everybody how to find deals, you know, it's only going to benefit me, because we can't buy them all. You know what I mean? Like, nobody can buy every deal they look at. So,
Pat, and not a lot of people want to be in Grayson County either. So the stuff you see up here, man, I'm the only guy here.
Dude, I love Grayson County. Like, I love the Grayson County area. I think all of those surrounding, those little outlying areas around DFW are great markets that people just ignore because they can't figure out how to manage something that's 20 minutes from their house. It's like, bro, get out of here. We're moving mobile homes in down by South Padre Island, and we got another contractor working in Canyon, Texas, which is up by Amarillo today. So we're managing stuff all over the state. You just gotta think you can, and then you can. So.
Oh yeah.
But lead us out, Pat. Cut us out, man.
All right, guys. Make sure to give Spencer McDuffy a follow. Check him out. It's Spencer McDuffy EXP Realty is his page, or just add him on Facebook. He's tagged in the description, and we'll see you next time. He's the motherfucker of mobile homes. He's the motherfucker of mobile homes. The best in Texas in every single way. Fire your guru, hire Roughneck to real estate. He's the motherfucker of mobile homes. He's the motherfucker of mobile homes. We'll see you guys next time.